Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, we're here to talk about STEM. My name is Maurice.
I'm Justin.
I'm Kenneth.
I'm Cameron.
I'm Betty.
I'm Luke.
And we're on a group for a representation. So STEM is all about iterative, hands-on, efficient, and effective learning. So one of our mottos is fail fast and fail often. You might think, why would you ever want to fail? But in our class, failing is accepted. So we take failing and we improve upon it. And yeah, it's basically our iterative part of STEM. So it's a lot of iterations and we keep improving on the previous model. It's hands-on because we take what we learn in the classroom, so all our theories, and we actually apply it to an actual project, and we go deeper into it, and we learn it throughout the entire theory, and not just the math part or the writing part. It's efficient and effective, in my opinion, because of all the reasons listed above. Basically, we take what we learn in the classroom, and it's very efficient in terms of the amount of time it takes for you to learn something, because you learn it, and then you learn it again, and you learn it again until you really actually understand the concept, and you basically get a 360 of what you're trying to learn. Justin will talk about what was one of our first projects we did in STEM as an introductory project.
Yep. So our first project, we made a mushroom-powered car. We were given about a month to finish the project. We took about 2 weeks to finish our first mushroom-powered car, and the great thing about this is that after those 2 weeks, when we finished the car, we learned that most of them didn't even work. But the great thing is that we're given multiple chances. It's okay to make mistakes, right? So after our first car that didn't really work out well, we were given the next 2 weeks to make a better one. And surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, but we made it a lot better, right? We went from not moving at all to completing the track, which was 4 meters long. A team actually scored less than 2 seconds. Well, they completed the track. Yeah, they cleared the track in less than 2 seconds, and that was huge progress. So that's one of the projects, and yeah, I think that's great.
Our second project is called the Tower of Power, which is a crane, and so the crane we have to carry a weight suspended over a tower, which is like called box. That was 50 centimeters in length, or 30 centimeters in length, and 50 centimeters tall. We have about 1 month to do this, and through our fail fast, fail often model, what we'll do is we'll build a prototype, test it, and then test that until failure or destruction. And we look at it and be like, oh, this part needs to be reinforced, it has to be replaced. We'll go back, make a brand new one, test that again, and see what else we missed. And that is how we got to this final product. And which some of us were able to carry about 5 kilograms to maybe 20 kilograms.
So I'm going to talk about some of the co-op we have with our STEM program. So the reason we have made this possible is first because of our teachers, such as Mr. Jancy and Mr. Hangeveld and Mr. Davis, etc., Mr. Skoden. They went down to discuss STEM with some important people down in the U.S. And we got partnership with SAP, PCIT, and the school board is also helping us as well. SAP is a Germany-based, just multinational, huge company. It's a ginormous software company that does software for Mercedes-Benz and a lot of different companies. And they're really excited about this. And there's only one other STEM program in North America. It's in New York, and they sponsor both. And what they do is they provide laptops, and also they do a mentorship program. So we go online and we have these mentors, and the mentors sometimes also come here they basically all work in a SAP facility downtown, and they come here and they give us their experience and what they learn, and it's actually extremely cool that they're doing that for us. BCIT is also helping because, well, they just want kids from STEM, basically, to go to their school. And the River School Board is always this superintendent always comes and enjoys what we're doing. Yeah, and I already talked about mentors. So yeah, this STEM program is actually going somewhere, which is really cool.
Now, our most recent project was to build a wireless rover that could visit the bank from the safety of the school, basically control it in one area when we are in another. And we had 6 weeks to work on it, and this is our group for it.
Yeah,
And for our first iteration, we didn't have anything really special. Mr. Janzi just provided us with this already basically pre-built kit, and then we would just assemble it so we get the basic idea of what we need and like which components are essential to our rover. And
Well, we
also-
controlled it with a couple of H bridges that we nailed, screwed onto a piece of wood, and that was our makeshift controller for our first iteration.
Also, for our first iteration, we just had really simple stuff like drafts of what we would possibly make for our other iterations, but they were just like sketches and ideas. We weren't actually sure if we could actually pull off.
Oh, second iteration. So, for our second iteration, we switched out our makeshift controller with H bridges for a Arduino, which allows us to turn flowcharts into actual commands that we can send to motors to make them move. And so we were able to do that, and so that's one thing so that we could interface with our robot from a computer. Thanks.
So the third iteration of this rover project changed one bit. We removed one wire. It became wireless essentially, and to do this we had to upgrade the Arduino to one that had Wi-Fi capabilities enabled, and we had to change the Arduino code to accept this, and this made it so the rover could accept commands over the internet in the school.
So basically tons of iterations.
All right, and
Tiny
then
changes.
for the fourth iteration, we taped a webcam to the front of our rover so that we could see, and we used a Raspberry Pi to stream the video over the Wi-Fi. So in addition to controlling the robot over the Wi-Fi, we are getting a video stream from the rover, which is outside right now, over Wi-Fi. And next, if you have any questions,
Yeah, so to conclude, STEM is, basically to reiterate what I said in the very beginning. Throughout, we've done 3 projects so far, and we're starting our 4th project, the Thermocube. And it's all about just not being afraid to fail, and taking what you learn in the classroom, actually putting it to, I wouldn't say use, but to a project where you can work on not just the physics and math and science in general, technology, but to actually learn how to work as a group and how to communicate and real life skills basically that colleges and universities want. So yeah, if you guys don't have any questions, we'll move on. So yeah, enough talking. Let's see in action.
first,
Oh, we can't draw.
oh, there we go.
We have a video stream.
Yeah, we have a chair. So we have a little mouse droid that we can just look at we can bring over here. You're getting a chair.
There you go.
There you go.
straight.
Just testing the true skills of the project.
I
Don't
failed my
worry,
driver's
easy.
test. And there we go. Yeah, so we can.
Alright, so there's Keith's cheese.
So yeah, we can just move it around. It's controlled by Wi-Fi. So yeah.
So what's the range of this device?
Unlimited.
Anywhere.
So I could fly it to the moon? Oh, on the school
With the
Wi-Fi.
right Wi-Fi, you could bring it to the moon and back.
Yeah, you could.
Now, when you say school Wi-Fi, do you mean this school Wi-Fi, or do you mean?
Any
Well,
Wi-Fi
VSB
at all.
Wi-Fi.
So,
Any Wi-Fi at all.
You could bring this to the school and mess around with it.
You can, as long as you can transport it in between, what do you call dark spots?
Right.
With no Wi-Fi, you can move it anywhere.
you had a question, Matthew? No? Any other questions? Oh, Robert, question? I know you were just waving at the camera.
Yeah.
How did you guys like? Sorry. What did you guys think when you were done making that thing?
We were frustrated because the software bit is a lot of trial and error.
Yeah.
Like you get one typo, and the computer is a smug. It's just like not polite at all, and it'll call you out on that, and it's just annoying to work with.
Whoa, it's a lot of trouble, but yeah. After we're all, I think the question after we're finally completed our testing, it was a lot of what would Evan say? Ecstasy, right?
Yeah, that's what you said. But
It's
euphoric feeling.
oh, euphoric feeling. Yeah, it's a really great feeling once you actually get through all those trials and errors, and you finally have a product that actually works, right?
All right, thank you.
All right. So, thank you very much.